Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Daviess County Fiscal Court to order. Today is September 4, 2025. Commissioner Castlen, you want to lead us in the prayer and the pledge?
Yes, Judge, thank you. Please stand if you're able. God in heaven, thank you for the changing of the seasons and for the periods of rain that can be just enough and not too much. Please be with us as a community to put personal differences aside, to disagree agreeably, and help us as a community to do what's best for all your people. Please help us throughout our country to be civil to one another, to treat others as we would want to be treated, and to have the courage to do the right thing. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Brooke, first item, please.
One, consideration for presentation. A, proclaim September 2025 as National Senior Center Month.
Commissioner Condor, you want to read this one for us?
Thank you, Judge, and yes, it probably does apply to me, what I'm about to read. Whereas older Americans are significant members of our society, and seniors are investing their wisdom and experience to help enrich and better the lives of younger generations. And as the number of seniors will increase significantly, and whereas the senior citizen community of Owensboro and Daviess County has acted as a catalyst for mobilizing the creativity, energy, vitality, and commitment of the older residents of Daviess County to recognize National Senior Center Month. And whereas National Senior Center Month, Powering Possibilities, Flip the Script, invites us to challenge outdated perceptions of aging in senior centers, and it celebrates the dynamic role that senior centers play in fostering creativity, connection, purpose, and resilience later in life. And whereas the Senior Community Center of Owensboro and Daviess County, Inc. powers possibilities through social connections that combat loneliness, isolation, health, and wellness programs that promote vitality, economic security resources that offer stability, creative, and cultural engagement that brings joy and purpose, and access to services that support independence and well-being. Now, therefore, I, Charlie Castlen, Daviess County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as National Senior Center Month and call upon all citizens of Daviess County to recognize the special contributions of the Senior Community Center of Owensboro, Daviess County, Inc., participants, staffs, and especially volunteers who work every day for the well-being of older citizens in our community, presented in Daviess County, Kentucky, this 11th day of September 2025. Signed, Charlie Castlen, Daviess County Judge Executive. And I believe we have Karsten Tyndall here for the presentation of this.
Okay. If you would like to come say a few words, and then we'll get a group picture here, okay?
David was wanting to be here, but he's out of town for a few days, so I'm here in his place. But we just wanted to thank the county for their continued support and for recognizing the month as Senior Center Month. And we just wanted to thank you all for all the continued support.
Very good. Let's get we normally get a group picture.
B, proclaim September 2025 as National Recovery Month.
Commissioner Marksberry, would you care to read this proclamation?
Thank you, Judge. Daviess County, Kentucky Proclamation, Office of the County Judge, Executive. Whereas the health and well-being of every individual in our community is of the highest importance, and behavioral health plays a critical role in achieving overall wellness and fulfilling lives. And whereas millions of people across our nation are impacted by mental health challenges and substance use conditions, but with the right support, treatment, and resources, recovery is not only possible but attainable for many. And whereas in order to assist many individuals in achieving long-term recovery, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, SAMHSA, the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, and Daviess County Fiscal Court encourage all citizens to actively participate in National Recovery Month. And whereas the strength of our community lies in our ability to come together and forge pathways to recovery with local organizations, healthcare providers, first responders, law enforcement, educators, and families, all playing vital roles in supporting those affected by mental health and substance use challenges. And whereas Daviess County Fiscal Court is dedicated to raising awareness, fostering understanding, and providing critical resources that ensure accessible, compassionate care for all in need, while promoting hope and healing through treatment and recovery services. And whereas during National Recovery Month, we celebrate the resilience of individuals who have reclaimed their lives through recovery, and we honor the dedication of those who work tirelessly to guide them on this journey. Now, therefore, I, Charlie Castlen, Daviess County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 in Daviess County, Kentucky as National Recovery Month. Presented in Daviess County, Kentucky, this is the 4th day of September 2025. Charlie Castlen, Daviess County Judge Executive.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think we have Chris Seaton and also Dr. Rosalind Clark here to receive this. So if you don't mind saying a few words, and then we'll get our picture with you.
I'd like to thank the county commissioners and you as well, Judge Executive, for this proclamation. It's an honor to work in this community in the field of recovery and treatment because we have such awesome support by individuals like you. I've always felt supported by the Fiscal Court. We do honor those that are in recovery, both that came into recovery just today and those that have years of recovery, because it takes a village to help someone with an addiction problem. I was also honored last year at this time to receive the certificate for us becoming Daviess County a recovery-ready community, which we could not have done without the support of Fiscal Court. So I personally want to thank each of you for all you've done to support me through my years of doing this and support our community.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. And I just want to say I had something ready to mention what you just mentioned as far as the recognition of Daviess County receiving the Recovery Ready designation, which was a significant effort by you and others in the recovery community. And I want to thank you for your years of service to our community. I've been acquainted with you for a long time, and your heart that you give to helping those in need it's just something I don't know that I witness very often. And I thank you for your years of service. Let's go.
C, 2025 tax rates for the Daviess County Library.
Mr. Johnson.
The Daviess County Library is adopting their compensating rate of 5.4 cents per $100 of assessed value for real property. This is down from 5.7 cents per $100 of assessed value last year. They've also chosen to leave all other ad valorem rates the same, forgoing the resultant calculated tangible personal property rate of 6.31 cents per $100 of assessed value, and instead leaving it at 6.2 cents per $100 of assessed value for tangible personal property, aircraft, watercraft, and inventory. Motor vehicles will remain at 4 cents per $100 of assessed value. There is no action for fiscal court to consider for approval. We are simply reading their established rates into the record as presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
D, 2025 tax rates for the Daviess County Extension District.
Mr. Johnson.
The Daviess County Extension District is adopting a rate of 1.07 cents per $100 of assessed value for real property. This is up from 0.9 cents per $100 of assessed value last year, and a rate of 1.07 cents per $100 of assessed value for tangible personal property, aircraft, watercraft, and inventory, which is up from 0.92 cents per $100 of assessed value last year. Motor vehicles will remain at 4 cents for $100 of assessed value. It should be noted that the Extension District's adopted rate is above that of their 4% rate. So this means that if the Extension District meets all other criteria in order to adopt this rate, the rate will be subject to voter recall per KRS 132. They plan to hold a public hearing just before the next fiscal court meeting on September 8th of 25 in the fiscal court courtroom. There is no action for fiscal court to consider for approval. We are simply reading their established rate into the record as presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
2, consideration for approval. A, minutes of August 21, 2025, Daviess County Fiscal Court meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We've all had the minutes for a few days to review. Does anybody have any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
B, all claims for all departments.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. These are all the bills due and payable by the Daviess County Fiscal Court. Are there any questions for Mr. Johnson? No. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
C, Sheriff's Quietus for 2024 tax settlements.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Mr. Johnson?
I've received the Sheriff's Quietus, which is his final settlement for the 2024 real estate tangible, telecommunications, franchise, distilled spirits, bank shares, limestone, sand and gravel, or LSG, and fire district's tax settlements. I've reviewed and reconciled the data and found it is in agreement with our revenue records. No other taxing district has made me aware of any inconsistencies with these figures, so I have no issues to report.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any questions for Mr. Johnson? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
D, second reading of KOC 921.687, 08-2025, an ordinance amending a zoning classification set forth in the county zoning ordinance of February 5th of 2004 regarding 1651 Parrish Plaza Drive.
Mr. Johnson, you want to speak to this at all, or? Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't know motion. We need a motion second first.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it. All right, John, if you would.
The title is an ordinance amending text in Article 8 of the Owensboro Metropolitan Zoning Ordinance, whereas on August 14th, 2025, the Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission held a public hearing and adopted by regulation zoning ordinance text amendment to Article 8 of the zoning ordinance, whereas the official transcript of the proceedings at said meeting, including the evidence presented and recommendations of the Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission, have been filed with and considered by the Daviess County Fiscal Court and is by reference incorporated. And whereas the Daviess County Fiscal Court has carefully reviewed the amendment and finds that the amendment is in conformity with community directions in its amendment, and further finds that the amendment meets the requirements of Kentucky law, KRS Chapter 100. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of the County of Daviess, Commonwealth of Kentucky. And then there's several sections.
Thank you, Counselor. Just for the public, this was an appeal of a planning and zoning rezoning. I forget what date. It says here July 10, 2025 is when the Planning Commission met and approved this rezoning. There were several appeals that were filed. Our last fiscal court meeting, we had a number of people get up and speak on both sides of this issue, and I made it clear that this meeting we would not have any input. If any of the three commissioners wish to speak to this, they are welcome to. Otherwise, I'm going to call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
E, Resolution 16-2025, KYTC Rural Secondary 80/20 Bridge Funds Program Agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We got a motion, second, Mr. Duper.
Good evening, Judge. This is a 80/20 Bridge Fund program from the Kentucky Transportation Rural Municipal Aid. The KYTC will pay for 80% of the project. The county will pay for 20%. This is for Browns Valley Red Hill Road. We have already used a portion of this year's fiscal year money to supplement for Baird Road, and the rest of this fiscal year will be for the design and construction of Browns Valley Red Hill Road, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Duper. Any questions or comments from the court? Commissioner Condor?
Thank you, Judge. County Engineer Newberry, just curious, the 80/20 Bridge Funds program, we apply every year, I assume, for this type of funding because we have so many issues with not only our roads but our bridges. And you've described what we're looking at doing with this year's funding. Do we have a plan going forward for anything else that this might be used for?
Going forward, even after this year, we would still continue to look at new bridges to replace with the 80/20 program. So we would look at all the bridges and which ones are in the worst condition to select for this program.
Thank you, sir. It's a very good program and it needs to be used every year. It's good. It is awesome to have that kind of funding. It's great.
And just to be clear, generally, when we replace a bridge, it's because it's at its end of its useful life. It's not just because, hey, it's our worst bridge. It needs to be replaced.
That's correct. If it's at its end of its weight limit, then we're going to select it for this program.
Okay. Commissioner Marksberry?
Thank you, Judge. I just wanted to see if we have a timeline, since we've closed the bridge, of when this might happen.
The timeline is to hire a design firm that's approved with the Kentucky Transportation County to design the bridge. That will take place this fall. And then once drawings are set, then we will bid them out and hopefully do the construction in calendar year 2026.
Thank you.
This is very similar to the Indian Hill Bridge replacement. Isn't that what you've told me previously?
That's correct.
And that project took right at a year or just over a year?
Yes, it did.
So the anticipation would be right at a year. So, any questions or comments from the public? Yes, sir. If you would come to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Hugh Biddle. My address is 7095 Highway 231 South. I'm in the Central Division. My question might be, as you said, Red Hill, Maxwell Road, Browns Valley. Which bridge are you talking about?
Browns Valley, Red Hill Road.
Red Hill Road. Are you talking about nearest to Borman property, that bridge?
No, Browns Valley, Red Hill Road. So it's between it's between Red Hill, Maxwell Road and US 431.
Okay. What about, it's been brought to my attention by some previous office holders that if we possibly want to improve bridge work on future bridges and you apply the 80/20 rule, what process do we need to go through to have it looked at to raise a bridge 18 inches and maybe not impede the flow of water down Panther Creek?
Any bridges that get redesigned would be, the hydraulics would be analyzed for that bridge, and every bridge would be then built according to that engineer's design. So they would evaluate the flow that's going underneath the bridge to determine the size of the opening and the road improvements and everything that goes with it.
If I may interject, Mr. Duper, if let's pretend that we wanted to raise this bridge in question 18 inches. We would do the design work right now, is that correct?
That's correct.
And KYTC would have sign off on it?
The design engineer would come up with the calculations and have to sign off on it.
Okay.
Okay, as Fiscal Court knows, I'm just a ratepayer farmer out there, and I appreciate not wasting tax dollars on certain items, and you are going to install a bridge over Panther Creek in 6 days, September the 10th, that I personally, Hugh Biddle, has objected to, and the neighbors and several have come to me about this concern that it's being installed a little bit low so that high water gets out, it slaps the bottom of the bridge. It's one of the reasons that they deteriorate. And I've just learned today that if it had been the 80-20 program, that was another deal already past due now. We can't address that we could have got, let's see the figures here. The bridge is going to cost the taxpayers.
Mr. Biddle, if I could ask you to hold this, you're talking about a different bridge. We're talking about the bridge that Mr. Duper identified.
Okay.
And at the end of the meeting, I'll allow you to speak to your points, okay?
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak to this issue? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
F, change order 10 for bid number 2425-11, purchase of 89 new fire hydrants.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
Yes, Judge, as the contractor finishes installation of the new fire hydrants in the Ohio County area, they discovered 2 of the extension kits ordered on change order number 9 were the incorrect size. This change order in the amount of $2,811.14 covers the cost of 2 additional fire hydrant extension kits. We will receive a credit of $994.79, bringing the total net cost of this change order to $1,816.35. This cost will be fully reimbursed by the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority Grant Assistance Agreement approved in fiscal court session held February 6, 2024. I would recommend approval.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the court for Ms. Sturgeon? No. Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
G, change order 4 for bid number 2425-30, Morton J. Holbrook Judicial Center HVAC replacement project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
This change order in the amount of $8,390 covers the labor and materials to install 2 boiler control valves to ensure water flow to 1 boiler at a time, and the installation of swing gates at the chiller for ease of access for preventative maintenance. This project is fully reimbursed by the Administrative Office of the Courts, and the cost adjustment due to this change order has been approved by AOC. I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments from the court? Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
H, award bid number 2526-08, 1 new compact excavator.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
We received 8 bids and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated bid submitted by Wright Implement LLC in the total amount of $63,269.02 for 1 new compact excavator for the Daviess County Road Department. This is the budgeted replacement of an aging unit currently in inventory. Wright Implement LLC is a known vendor. There were minor exceptions to our specification, and I would recommend approval.
Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions from the members of the court? Any questions from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I, award SMA number 2526-13, one new half-ton crew cab pickup truck.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Ms. Sturgeon?
Yes, Judge, we received 4 quotes and recommend award to the lowest and best evaluated quote submitted by Bachman Auto Group for the provision of one new half-ton crew cab pickup truck in the amount of $43,210. This is a budgeted replacement of an aging unit currently in inventory. Bachman Auto Group is a known vendor. There were no exceptions to the specification, and I would recommend approval.
Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Sturgeon. Any questions or comments from the court? Any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
J, promote Richard Spivey to Fleet Management Mechanic 4, effective August 19, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to congratulate Richard Spivey for his promotion and thank him for his service to our community. Anyone else? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
K, promote Austin Fuquay to Fleet Management Mechanic 4, effective August 19th of 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to congratulate Austin for his promotion and thank him for his service to our community. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
L, promote Bob Root to Transfer Station Manager, effective August 31st of 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to congratulate Bob for his promotion. Also thank him for stepping up to this role. Anyone else?
Yes, Judge. Saying
Commissioner?
thanks to Bob for all of his work and for be willing to step up and take this position. It's a tough job, and he's a good person for it.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
M, hire Kennedy Saramgard as temporary records assistant, effective September 10, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. I want to congratulate Kennedy for the hire for the position and thank Kennedy for agreeing to help us on this. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
N, hire Doug Bush as Fleet Management Mechanic 6, effective upon successful completion of pre-employment screenings.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to congratulate Mr. Bush for his hire and thank him for agreeing to work with us. Anyone else? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
O, accept the resignation of Kane Logston, effective September 5th, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Want to thank Kane for all the years of work and wish Kane well. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 P, accept the resignation of Jordan Rowe, effective September 12th of 2025.
Do we have to?
Objection.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Jordan, just want to say thank you for your many years or your several years of service to our community. You will be missed, not just by us, but by those who have enjoyed your pictures and also posts that you put on the Facebook page. We thank you for making us look good during meetings. Anyone else wish to say anything?
I will.
Commissioner Marksberry.
Someone's got big shoes to fill when they take that role. And Jordan, you've been a great asset to this court, and your photography, I know everyone enjoys looking at those gorgeous pictures he puts out of the county. I still think we should do a book. Just gonna throw that out there. If he'll allow us, because they're his photos. But we'll miss you, Jordan. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for making us look good, Jordan.
Amen. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. If I could please, Judge, a point of order on procedural matters.
Okay.
I believe on item D, when that is the second reading of KOC 921.687, the ordinance was the zoning reclassification, and I believe what was read, which is confusing, by the county attorney, was the following first reading of the text amendments to Article 8. So for the record, I believe the whereas needs to be put in the record for item D. I believe so.
So I just proposed that I mistakenly read the wrong zoning ordinance earlier. There's two that are on today. One's for a second reading, one is for a
If
first
you
reading.
would go back and read, then.
I would like to go back and read
The one we
it.
should have.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So it's an ordinance amending a zoning classification set forth in the county zoning ordinance of February 5th, 2004. Whereas the Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission met in regular session at Owensboro, Kentucky on July 10th, 2025 to consider an application filed by Walbuck Development Company, LLC, for a zoning classification amendment from B4 General Business to R3MF Multifamily Residential for a 6.103 acre tract located at 1651 Parrish Plaza Drive. Whereas, after hearing the evidence presented, the Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission made findings of fact and conclusions and recommended approval of the zoning classification amendment to R-3MF Multifamily Residential. A copy of the transcript of the proceedings is attached to the ordinance. Whereas, within the time allowed by law, 4 aggrieved parties each filed a request with the planning office for the fiscal court to hear the rezoning. Whereas the official transcript of the proceedings at the meeting included the evidence presented, the findings of fact and conclusions and recommendations of the Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission have been filed and considered by the Daviess County Fiscal Court, be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of the County of Daviess, Commonwealth of Kentucky. And then there's several sections. So you might want to make a motion to vote on it again.
Yeah. Brooke, who made the first motion on that?
Larry Condor made the
Larry,
first,
would you mind making the motion again?
Motion to approve.
and you made the second.
And I'll second it. So, sorry we got that wrong. Commissioner Connor, I'm glad you caught it. I had asked for comments before, so do we have any comments on that rezoning?
Yes.
You may. And
Thank you.
and
Thank you,
the-
Judge.
the this is the one I said the public does not get to speak, but the commissioners do.
Okay. So I just wanted to make people aware that what we're voting on is a zone change only. We are not voting on any proposed future use of these properties, and what they are trying to do is legally permissible. And so people have asked me about this project. So what we're voting on is to change the zoning because it abuts up to some other zoning for apartments. So they're taking it from a commercial zone to apartment zone, and that has been approved by OMPC. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
3, consideration for discussion. A, first reading of KOC 921.688, 09-2025, an ordinance amending text in Article 8 of the Owensboro Metropolitan Zoning Ordinance.
Counselor, if you would.
Thanks, Judge. I'll read the correct one this time. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
An ordinance amending text in Article 8 of the Owensboro Metropolitan Zoning Ordinance, whereas on August 14th, 2025, the Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission held a public hearing and adopted by regulation zoning ordinance text amendment to Article 8 of the zoning ordinance. Whereas the official transcript of the proceedings at said meeting, including the evidence presented and recommendations of the Owensboro Metropolitan Planning Commission, have been filed with and considered by the Daviess County Fiscal Court and is by reference incorporated. And whereas the Daviess County Fiscal Court has carefully reviewed the amendment and finds that the amendment is in conformity with community directions in its amendment, and further finds that the amendment meets the requirements of KRS Chapter 100, Kentucky law. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of the County of Daviess, Commonwealth of Kentucky, and then there's 4 different sections. This is a first reading, so there won't be a vote.
Thank you, Counselor. This is an ordinance that was brought to us by Planning and Zoning. This is not initiated by Daviess County Fiscal Court. Anyone else on the court wish to speak? Anyone from the public wish to speak to this item? Hearing none, next item, Brooke.
B, other business to be brought before the Daviess County Fiscal Court. And there is none that I'm aware of. C, public comments.
This is a part of our meeting where we allow the public come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, speak to any item other than those that were on the agenda. And Mr. Biddle, I interrupted you. I told you I'd give you an opportunity to speak, so this is your opportunity, sir. I appreciate your patience with me as.
That's okay. I'm new to all this.
Yes, sir.
And I just address them also. I mean, I'm here, okay. My address to you all is there's a bridge being installed on Old Hartford Road over the Panther Creek this September the 10th, that fiscal court has known that there's been some, I think the judge quoted this particular person that approached him a year and a month ago, that if it goes in again, we need to raise it to preserve the bridge. It makes sense to me as a common farmer that you don't build a bridge that gets underwater several times a year. You just get it up out of the water. At least the bridge is good. One of the ex-fiscal court members goes, well,
Mr. Biddle, I'm gonna ask you to
Okay.
address the court.
Okay.
They can hear you.
Okay,
They're
I'm
sitting
sorry.
here,
I'm
they
not
hear
used to
you.
this. Okay.
I understand, but I've gavelled others down before and directed them.
I'm
the
just
same.
going to be another minute here, please.
Okay.
Today it came to light through Judge Castlen that the bridge that they're replacing did not fall under an 80-20 plan, which would have cost the county residents only $88,000, but that plan only comes about once a year. Is that correct? It couldn't fall under the 80-20 plan.
Mr. Duper, do you want to speak to this or
For the
Mr.
80-20,
Johnson?
for the fiscal year 24-25, our 80-20 project, we used the culvert replacement at Baird Road already, and we did that in July 24. So that got approved then. So we already used our funds for that fiscal year for another project.
So it
Okay,
is limited. It's limited how often and how much we can tap.
So my understanding is that today you applied an emergency grant for the road bridge.
It was called Emergency County
Right.
Road Aid Fund.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And therefore you could possibly receive, can you say how much money? Did you tell me 150?
$150,000. That was the cap
So
for
the
Daviess
bridge
County.
cost was 440, 150 from that. The taxpayer is going to pay 290,000 in my math to put a bridge back that has to be under the law in exactly the same spot because it's an emergency bridge fund. It has to go back exactly the same. Is that right?
That is correct.
So if we're concerned about flowage down the creek or the bridge being indulated with water under it, we're in the same old issue, and I'm just a taxpayer. So I've came up with another plan, and this number was thrown out at one time, $22,000 to raise it, and a judge, Castlen, informed me today that maybe $88,000 with re-engineering, load-bearing.
I was told 80
So-
to 100,000 easy, yes.
So I did my math again, and 290 that the taxpayers is going to be out. If we could possibly get the fiscal court to get another 88,000 invested in the bridge to get it up out of the water for longevity is a better taxpayer use of money. So that bridge is going to cost $378,000 in good shape, or you can put it back like it's going to be happening this coming Wednesday for $290. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. I know there's a number of folks that are here to speak just from your shirts I assume, on the library. I'm not going to allow everybody to speak, but if there's somebody who wants to speak for the group from either side, I'll take one of you right now. I'll say you're the red shirts, and I'll call the other the blue shirts. Go ahead, name and address for the record, please.
My name's Mike Hamlet. I live at 6160 Sutter Loop West, and I've been a Daviess County resident most of my life. I've been in here and spoke to you all before. And that's true. There's a lot of polarity in this room. And that's a shame that we have to disrupt your meetings. And I want to thank you all for maintaining the public engagement in these meetings. You gave that gentleman the right to speak. That's a wonderful way, is transparent and keep the public involved. And last time I was up here, I was talking about my tax rates, and it concerned me when I started looking at my property tax rates, because I've got other property besides my real estate. I've got an RV and, motorhome, and so those property rates are going into the Daviess County Library and the schools, okay? I don't agree with their approach on how they're handling traditional family values, okay? Because we've watered down our traditional family values since I was a kid. And now we've got a lot of people struggling because of it. And I think we all want to protect our children and keep our children safe. And poisoning them a little bit at a time in the public library intersection with pornography isn't okay. Not with me. That's not how I want to spend my tax dollars, okay? So thank you all for keeping the public engaged. Know that I'm concerned about how you're spending my money, my tax dollars, when I don't even have children in school anymore. My grandkids are homeschooled. Okay, so our traditional family values that built the strong America that we grew up in is what we need to keep going. And there's going to be some transfer. I know a lot of y'all, I have campaigned for all y'all, and there's going to be some shuffling this next election, and I'll have to put my thinking cap on and see how that goes. But you have to remember that watering down the sin waters down the sacrifice too, and nobody wants to do that. That's all I got.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wish to speak? I'm going to just say it on the library issue from the other side. Is there anyone wish to speak to any other item that has not been covered on our agenda? Yes, sir. Again, state your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon. I'm Shane Cox, 5923 Stevens School Road in Whitesville. It has come to my attention that Commissioner Marksberry is going to run against you for your seat, which may vacate your seat. My intentions are to run for her seat. I just want to make that public. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak to any item other than items that have been covered on the agenda? Anything else, Bert?
It would D, comments by Daviess County Fiscal Court.
Commissioner Marksberry?
I don't have anything, Judge. It's been a long week. I've done a lot of talking already, so thank you.
Commissioner Castlen?
Commissioner Marksberry, I'll take up your time. I got a few things here. I want to say this week we had a great start to a program where it's the Child Care Initiative, which came out of a partnership with the Owensboro Family YMCA, then the Public Life Foundation, along with work from our Chamber of Commerce and working with our state representatives, City of Owensboro, and Daviess County Fiscal Court in getting this program started, which made child care space a reality at the Family Y for 150 kids, starting as young as 6 weeks old. And this is a great example of how our community partnerships can do so much for us as a community when we come together for these things, because that is a massive undertaking. And next, thanks to those people who are reporting to fiscal court the trash along roadsides. But we do have a quicker and easier way to report than having to look up the number for your commissioner or fiscal court and give us a call. This way is to get on the website at daviessky.org. And on the homepage, you scroll down, there's a picture that says Trash for Cash. Click on it, and next scroll down to the picture that says Report Roadside Trash. And it's very self-explanatory on there of asking for information about the trash. You can put pictures on it of the trash issues. And what that does for is, instead of just like calling your commissioners, it actually puts it on the map, and it helps us to see, the routes where it is. And I know we see it when we drive past it and we report it that way, but it helps to map it out so that also from an enforcement perspective and just for us to help improve the way these roadways look. And tomorrow starts this year's Special Olympics Kentucky State Softball Tournament. The tournament starts, and that's going to be here in Owensboro, starting at 6 p.m. tomorrow night at all four Jack C. Fisher Park fields. The games will resume again Saturday morning, and the judge will be throwing out the first pitch Saturday to start that off.
I will.
Commissioner Condor has been voluntold by his wife that he will be umpiring some of the games. So congratulations, Commissioner Condor.
All right.
No.
And happy birthday yesterday to Commissioner Condor as well. So I encourage everybody, I got to go last year, and this is wonderful to see. The Special Olympics Kentucky softball tournament is wonderful to see the people that come out for this, the joy that it brings to the players and to the families and everyone there, and it's free. There's no admission cost. So I encourage you, if you have some time Saturday, come out there and see what this is. It's a great thing.
Thank you, Commissioner.
That's it.
Commissioner Condor.
I'm so glad I get to go behind him. The softball tournament that Commissioner Castlen is referring to last year was won by the Daviess County team. And if you want to see some unrestricted joy, you go see these players. They're competitive, but my gosh, they'll hug anybody that comes around you. I mean, they will do it, and it's just absolutely awesome. And I am not umpiring. That will just go sideways real fast if that was to happen. But if you don't go to the tournament, there is an event Saturday evening. And here it comes. Yeah, there you go, Commissioner Castlen. At the Owensboro Museum of Fine Arts, where we have the stars in Daviess County and Owensboro create art. And then they auction it off to the highest bidder as a fundraiser for the Arts Museum. Well, our own Commissioner Castlen has his own creation that is going to be up for auction. So if you got like maybe $3 or $4, maybe it's worth more than that. Not for sure, but show up then Saturday evening to see how much that art brings. Thank you, Judge.
I got to get myself together after that. Oh, goodness. I'm going to start with trash. You mentioned trash, so as I do, I thank each meeting those who have participated in the Cash for Trash program. We got Josh's Broken Feather and Montserrat, Masonic Lodge, 379. They picked up 220 pounds. Thank you. Gish Lawn is our contractor. They picked up over a ton, 2,920 pounds of trash. Last meeting, I recognized a young person who had scored a perfect 36 on the ACT, and that young person had gotten a 35 two other times and decided to take it a third time and got a 36. And Wednesday's newspaper has a headline, Bland finds perfection on ACT. Owensboro Innovation Academy senior records 36 composite scores. So John Bland, I say congratulations. I believe this was John's second time. He took it and got a 32 as a sophomore, took a practice test and got a 34 and decided to take it again and got a perfect 36. And for those who wonder, it says he was among the 0.25% of students who got a perfect score. So that's a pretty elite group. I also want to congratulate St. Mary's of the Woods and Trinity High School. They were named Jostens Renaissance School of Distinction. And only 140 schools received that national honor. And just want to congratulate both of them and their students and faculty and staff. Don't like to end on a heavy note, but I do want to share, I got a call from our fire chief right before the meeting started, and he said there had been a fatality accident on the bypass, and at least 2 people had passed away, and the others, there may be more. They were transported, but there may be more. I would just ask, and I don't know any of the names, don't know the families, I would ask you to keep that family and those families in your prayers. Anything else, Brooke? Without further business, this meeting is adjourned.